Welcome everyone, my name is Andrea Miller and I'm a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator here at community hospitals and wellness centers. I'd like to welcome our live audience and viewers at home to Live It Grilled. Also, please help me in welcoming Wade Patrick. He's the new Chief Information Officer here at the hospital. So he's going to be my sous chef today, and he doesn't know really anything going into this today, anything what we're doing. I don't have you even looked at the recipes yet?
I have not.
So I'm going to be instructing him as we go along. So as I'm instructing you, I'm going to be instructing him as well. So he's going to give me a hand today. What did you refer to yourself as? An amateur aspiring to be grill pro.
I figured you could turn me into that today.
Okay, all right. So after today, he'll be a grill pro. Okay, so we're making 3 different things today. We're making some stone fruit kebabs. So if you've never heard of a stone fruit, it's basically a summertime fruit. They're in season in the summer, and they all have a big pit in the middle. So some common stone fruits would be peaches, nectarines, plums, apricots, and also cherries are included in there too. So those are all stone fruits, but we're going to be using peaches, nectarines, and plums today because they're all about the same size, and we're going to put those on the grill and give you a really simple recipe for that. We're also going to be making some really yummy shrimp, plum, and pepper kebabs, and you can either spice it up or spice it down with this one. Today we're going to spice it down because I know a lot of people don't really like spicy foods that well, so we're going to be using a sweet red bell pepper, but you could also use a jalapeno pepper in this recipe if you like spicy foods, which I do. And I made it with jalapenos at home and it was excellent. And then we're also going to be doing a really simple teriyaki chicken kebab. And the reason I threw the teriyaki chicken kebab in there is because I know a lot of kids might not like shrimp. So it's a good kind of go along with this meal. So if you have kids that are a little bit picky, you could throw on some chicken teriyaki kebabs. My son actually called them chicken nuggets. And
you looked at me when you said simple. Was there a reason? Was there a correlation there?
Well, you look like you might be someone that wants to save time in the kitchen, right? so we're going to keep it simple because nobody has a lot of time to be spending in the kitchen. So first we're going to get started with our fruit kebabs. So I'm going to take the plum and I'm going to give you the peach. We're just going to slice them right in half. Here's a paring knife for you. So, a sharp knife is a safe knife today. We will use a big chef knife today, but for cutting fruit, you want a little paring knife like this one. And I'm just going to slice right down the middle. You want these to be about the same size so they grill evenly. So right down the middle. And it's a perfectly ripe plum. As you can see, I just twisted it, and I have the seed on one side and no seed on the other. So then I'm just going to try to get this, peel the seed out. Oh, you missed the middle. That's okay. So I'll take the one half, and then, awesome. And then we can just try to scoop out, actually, I'll fix it.
I don't think she trusts me with the knife.
I do this at home with my husband too. You messed it up, I'll fix it. Perfect, okay. So then we'll just, give that to your kids for a snack or something. So we have our plum and our peach, and then we'll see about the nectarine too. Sometimes they don't twist apart, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the fruit isn't ripe. It just means that it might be a different variety of stone fruit. Some are cling and some are loose stone. So it's sometimes hard to get the pit out, but just, if you can't get it out, just kind of trim around. Okay. All right, so we have our stone fruit ready, and now we need some skewers. So Wade, I'm going to have you grab 2 skewers. I'm going to give you one of each too, or one of each. Okay. I'm going to take a skewer, and you're going to take a skewer, and then you can start with any one you want. So I have the plum, and then just kind of put the skewer through so that the cut side, you want all the cut sides lining up. So now I'm going to go with the peach next. Just kind of put them on the skewer so all the flat sides are together. Okay. And then we're gonna, awesome, place them on our platter. Beautiful. I think his is better than mine. All right. And then to make it a little bit fun and to help with the caramelization of the fruit, we're going to put just a little bit of sugar on. I think for the recipe, I hope that, yeah, this is the sugar. Right? This is the sugar. The salt and the sugar look very similar when they're in white bowls that aren't labeled. So this is the sugar, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on each one. Okay, so there's a little sugar on each one, and now I'm just going to set it aside for a few minutes and just let the moisture from the fruit dissolve the sugar, and then we'll toss it on our grill as soon as we're done. So now we're going to get started on our marinade for the shrimp and peppers. So first we're going to take a lime, and I'm going to have Wade help me zest here. So he said he's never used a zester, so I'll show him how to do it. So you just kind of, actually put it over a bowl here. Just kind of run the fruit along the zester, or microplane it's also called. So there's little tiny, see the little tiny shavings of the zest or peel in there. So I'll give that to you and have you start with that while I start measuring out the other ingredients. And you need about a teaspoon of lime zest. Go for it. And this is actually an optional step if you don't really want to use lime zest, or if you're using bottled lime juice instead of a fresh lime. You know, the lime zest is fun, but you don't really have to use it. It's not gonna, you know, break the recipe. So he's working on the zest. I'm gonna grab the cilantro and start with the start chopping up the cilantro. So I just have some fresh cilantro here, and you need about 2 tablespoons of that chopped. So something cool about, oh, cilantro is not really tearing off very well. Something cool about adding cilantro or spices to marinades is it actually, did I get cilantro on my face? Okay. It adds, is it there? Okay. It actually, it has a lot of antioxidants with it, which is important when you're grilling, because the antioxidants can help to, I guess, balance the effect of any carcinogens that might be present from grilling the meat. So that looks good. We'll go with that. So I'm going to give this a quick chop. Cilantro is one of my favorite herbs. It's just so aromatic. Can you smell it from here? From there?
Notice she didn't let me do that.
I will let him use a knife. I told him he can cut the chicken. That seems manly. I don't like touching raw meat, so. All right, so then I'm just going to put the cilantro in there. Okay, and now we need some lime juice. So I'm going to roll the lime to help release some of the juices. We need about 3 tablespoons of lime juice. So I have an extra lime here just in case we need a little bit extra. Actually, I was going to dump that in here. Let me grab my spoon. So I forgot I wanted to put my lime juice in this bowl. Okay, I know there's a lot of different methods for juicing a lime. I'll give you 1/2 and let you start squeezing some lime juice in there. Oh geez, these limes are not very juicy. That could be a problem. Sometimes I just dig my fingers in there, try to release some juice. Are you getting any out?
Not
Good
like
thing we have an extra.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to call on the services of the other lime.
All right, let's try for number 2. So I'll roll it again. Sometimes that happens with fresh fruit. I guess as a backup, if that happens to you, you can always go for the bottled lime juice that maybe you have in your refrigerator. I always have a bottle of lime juice and a bottle of lemon juice in my refrigerator because I use them all the time in different marinades. And also just for keeping fruit fresh, like avocados or whatever fruit. You know how they get kind of brown? If you squeeze some lime juice on them, the citric acid helps to keep them from turning brown. So that's why I always keep, I'll give you that one again. Bad limes. I'm just going to, again, kind of dig my fingers into the pot just to hope I can get some juice. All right.
We did wash our hands, right?
Yes, we did. All right, that's good enough. That'll be enough. All right, so the reason I put it in a separate bowl is if there's any seeds in there, you obviously want to take the seeds out. Sometimes people will squeeze the lime up so that the seeds stay in it. I never have good luck with that. Some people will also like squeeze the lime with their hand underneath it. Again, I never really have good luck with that either. So I just squeeze the lime juice into a separate bowl and then I can fish out the seeds. But there's actually none in here. Those must be seedless limes. I don't know. Those limes are weird. But we're just going to dump the lime juice into there. And 3 tablespoons of canola oil. I like canola oil in this recipe. It has the same heart health benefits as olive oil, but it's more mild. It doesn't. Olive oil has a distinct flavor, and it just kind of. I mean, you could use it, but it just kind of blends funny with the cilantro and lime marinade. So, all right, we're gonna stir that up then, and then I'm gonna take out a couple tablespoons of the dressing because we're going to use that later. Set that aside. Okay. So we have the marinade ready to go. I think our fruit, the sugar on our fruit has dissolved, so let's get some heat going on. First we need to brush the grill with some olive oil or canola oil. Or you could use just some nonstick cooking spray. Would be fine, whatever you have. And if you're doing this outside, I would brush the grill before you turn it on as well. This is just a grill pan, which you could use inside if you have one, or again outside on your grill.
Again, she didn't trust me with the full-size grill.
I thought that might be a little much for a first time in cooking experience, yeah. Right? All right.
Is this how you cook at home too for the family?
On one of these?
Just in general.
Yeah, I set my kids up on the counter and I walk them through every step. They're gonna be chefs by the time they're 5. So that's my goal anyways. So then I don't have to cook anymore. They'll cook for me. Teach them how to cook young. All right. So that preheats really quick. So now we're just gonna, you can plop yours on there too. Okay. So they're gonna cook for about 5 minutes until they get a little bit of a char on them and they're heated through, and then you just pull them off and they're ready to eat. So really simple recipe there. So while those are cooking, we're gonna keep working on our shrimp. So now we have to cut up the rest of the fruit and vegetables to go with our shrimp. So I'll give you the plums and I guess I'll show you one. I'll cut it in half.
Hit the halfway point this time.
Yes. Actually, the plums are really easy to cut in half. The pit, they must be a loose stone plum variety, so the pit comes right out of these. So these are, great job. And then just take the pit out and cut it into about thirds. It doesn't have to be exact. So cut each half into 3. And then I'm going to cut my pepper. And you just want it kind of in bite-sized pieces. I like to use a paring knife to get the seeds out. How are those looking? Do they smell good? Can you guys smell them out there yet? No? So all the peppers and the fruit just goes right in to the marinade. And Wade, actually, if you want to unwrap the shrimp and dump that in too. So the recipe calls for raw shrimp. This is cooked shrimp. Whatever you have, this will work just fine. Yep, dump it all in. So if you're using a raw shrimp, you absolutely want to make certain that it's getting cooked all the way through. But if you're using a already cooked shrimp, then, basically you just need to heat it. Make sure the vegetables are cooked. So we're giving that a stir. Are they warm on top yet?
Not on top.
Not on top. All right. So this is just one grilled fruit idea, but you can grill a lot of different fruits. I've heard pineapple is really good on the grill as well. All right, so I think all of the marinade is kind of settled onto the vegetables. So now we're going to start skewering. I forgot we have a toss bin. Let's get this. All right. So Wade is going to help me skewer these lovely shrimp and plum kebabs. So I usually start with a shrimp, and we'll probably just do a couple of them. To give you the idea, a shrimp, and then a piece of pepper, and a plum. I love grilled plums. I had never tried grilled plums before tasting this recipe, and it's just amazing. And then you just repeat. And this recipe makes about 4 skewers, so 4 servings. And I liked to serve it with some type of whole grain. I think I made quinoa to go along with it, but you could also serve it with like a rice pilaf or brown rice to keep it simple, and then some type of green vegetable like a green salad along with it to make a full meal. All right, let's see. Oh, those look good. Actually, perfect. So where did that tray? Oh,
this one?
Yep.
Can you get it?
Might need 2. They're kind of slippery. Uh-oh. So if you use a flat skewer, you can prevent that. Did you see what just happened? The fruit kind of turned on me.
I told you guys I was going to burn something.
You didn't burn any. And some of that char, again, that's the caramelization from the sugar, so it's just that burnt sugar on there. But that'll actually probably be your favorite part of the fruit. Everyone will like the charred part. So turn this off for a second. That would be embarrassing. Didn't think that one through. All right, so we have 2 shrimp. We'll put 3 shrimp on there.
I don't want Mike coming at me saying I did it.
Never thought of that happening. Oops, my plum fell off. All right, so my plum fell off, so I'll just stick another one on there. Stick it on again. All right, and then we'll just put it on there. And we'll just set these aside. We'll just do 2 for now, so you get the idea. You guys can figure out how to skewer the rest, I'm sure. So I'm going to brush some more olive oil onto that.
Chad, how much do we pay the fire department if they have to respond?
All right. Back on. All right, so now we can throw these onto the grill. And again, you're just kind of, since the shrimp is already cooked on this, you're just trying to heat it through. If you were using raw shrimp is kind of a gray color, and you would want to make sure it turns pink, so it turns pink when it's cooked. So we'll let those go for a second, and now we are going to start with our chicken. We'll set these aside so that's finished. Okay, so first let's start with our marinade. So I'll have you grab that bowl down there. And sure, yeah. Move this out of the way. Okay, so we need the teriyaki sauce. We have a 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce, and I do prefer the low sodium version, which is pretty easy to find. It's pretty available. So we have a 1/4 cup of that, and that can go in. Yep. So this is just a 3-ingredient recipe, so really simple to throw together. And then in addition to that, just a 1/2 tablespoon. I don't know, teaspoon. I guess we'll just use 1/2 of the tablespoon. And just kind of stir it together. And then we need to put our chicken in. So I'll have Wade unwrap that. And actually, I'm going to have you get the red cutting board and put that on top of the black one. Move it out. So we have a red cutting board, again, for food safety. So in the kitchen, they have a special cutting board that all the raw meat is cut on, so that if there's any bacteria remaining on the cutting board, it's okay because they know what they're cutting up on it will be cooked. And that's also a good decision to do at home, too, to have special cutting boards for raw meats and for your fresh vegetables so that you're not getting, raw meat on your raw vegetables. So we have boneless, skinless chicken thighs, which actually you can find in the store. I'm using my hands here. Okay, don't try that at home. So you can find boneless, skinless chicken thighs in the store. You don't have to debone them or skin them yourselves. They're pretty available, and I like using chicken thighs because it's a dark meat, and it's a little bit more flavorful and a little moist. And I'm not a huge meat person, but I don't think there's anything worse than a dry, flavorless chicken breast on the grill. So we're using some chicken thighs. Also a good source of iron. The dark meat has more iron than the light meat. So also it has a lot of nooks and crannies from being deboned. So all those nooks and crannies hold on to a lot of the marinade and make it really flavorful. So I'm going to have Wade, if you want to put on gloves, you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm going to have him just cut the chicken into like bite-sized pieces. You can come a little bit bigger than that.
Okay.
See, he's doing a great job. He doesn't need me to instruct him. We'll see how these are. A couple more seconds there. I'm going to put on some gloves and, oops, my gloves are over here. Need midget gloves. I'll start tossing the chicken in. Just stir. Actually, with my clean hand. I'm going to take these off the grill. They look done. Pop them on a platter. And then with a couple of tablespoons of marinade that I saved, you can just drizzle that on top just to give it a little extra flavor. And that's it. Our second recipe is all done. Okay, so the chicken is cut up, and you're just kind of stirring it together. And then we just skewer it, and again, put it on the grill. I'm going to brush it with a little bit more olive oil. Is it still on? Yep, still on. Okay. These things are kind of finicky. Sometimes they just randomly turn off. So now we're going to take some skewer. Oh, all right, and I'm going to grab another glove.
You're going to remind me to wash my hands when I'm
Yes,
done too, right?
yes. And then you just kind of put it on the skewer. And again, we can just do one each to give everyone the idea. So these are just some really simple recipes that are really easy to throw together on a weeknight when you're busy. You could even do the prep for this, the night before, or at least get the chicken cut up and in the marinade. It could sit in the marinade overnight in the refrigerator. I think I'm going to stop there and I'm just going to toss it on. It's a nice sizzle.
You're pretty good at filling in the dead spots while we're doing stuff too.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could put this together the night before so that it's ready when you get home from work. All you have to do is turn on the grill and get things cooking. So that's pretty much it. We're just going to wait for this to cook, and then we're done. So she asked if there wasn't any fruit or vegetables with the chicken, so she's wondering why. So I know a lot of people like to skewer the vegetables on with the meat, and some of the research that I did recommended actually not doing that because you get raw meat and overcooked vegetables. So if you want some vegetables on the grill as well that you want to put on a skewer, it might be better to do the meat and then do separate vegetable skewers on the side. So we didn't do a separate vegetable skewer today. But you could certainly do that at home if you wanted to. Some good vegetables to grill would be zucchini, summer squash, eggplant, tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, a variety of different things.
I wanted to turn those and I was afraid you were going to tell me it was too early.
Oh, you can turn it really as many times as you want. Actually, the meat's kind of sliding around on the skewer, so I don't know if I mentioned getting flat wood skewers. And that'll prevent the meat from kind of flipping around. Might actually use this to kind of turn the meat back around. So just keep flipping them until they're all cooked through. There's no more pink. So it should take a couple more minutes. It's actually starting to look pretty good. Thank you all so much for coming. It was a joy cooking for you again today, and I hope you can come again next month. I think next month we're going to be doing Live It Local, so I hope you can join me for that as well. And thank you, Wade, for being my sous chef today. It was a pleasure cooking with you.